Anne Bernstein, head of the Centre for Development and Enterprise, joins me now via Skype. Good to have you with us, Anne Bernstein. Towards the end of his speech, he said, above all else, we must get our economy working again. Can he do it?
Well, I certainly hope he can. He's going to have to take some very bold reform steps. So if you look at the sectoral studies, I saw presentations on 8 of them that he mentioned. They talk a lot about the inhibitors to the growth and investment that is possible. And some of those relate to some very fundamental issues. The question of skilled immigrants, the question of labor laws, and the price of labor and the labor environment, and a number of other things that affect the environment in which companies operate and are prepared to risk their money in new investments. So I think that more power to his arm, but...
I mean, do you think it's a 1% growth speech, 2%, maybe 5%?
I don't think he introduces the reforms that are necessary to get us above what the Reserve Bank's saying is the 1%, 1 and a bit percent cycle that we're in at the moment. I'm very taken with Leseja Kanyago talking about South Africa needs a new narrative and a new story of how we're going to make the key trade-offs to move towards a higher growth path. So I think
and interesting, Anne, that he says, you know, and he was talking about the World Bank report, South Africa is positioned 82 out of 190 countries. He said, we've set ourselves the target of being among the top 50 global performers within the next 3 years. That's quite a task, isn't it? You say he's got a lot to sort out, but how's he going to get even close?
I think it's quite a task. You must bear in mind what Ricardo Hausman says about the doing business indicators. There's a big debate about this. He says there are many countries that have improved their position but have not improved their growth rate. So the key question is, what are the key factors that are holding back investment, not how we do on some broad, general doing business indicators. So we have to look at what is specific to South Africa and what are the key indicators that really matter for this country. Yes, it takes too long to get a business license. Yes, we could do better. But there are a lot of things, labor laws, regulations, skilled immigrants. We're short of skills in South Africa tomorrow. So there are things like that that we have to fix, and these are big trade-offs, big choices the country has to make if we're going to move to a new investment cycle that's much better.
He made some positive gestures for entrepreneurs. He spoke about expanding their small business incubation program. I mean, there seems to be a real bent towards technology now, doesn't it? And also to raise our scientific achievements.
Yes, but the thing I noticed about the speech, I think there is there's an interesting continuation of what he's been starting to say, which is a more positive attitude to the private sector. So he wants to involve the private sector in the new investigative unit under the new national prosecutor. That's very encouraging. We need private sector expertise from the law firms. There's a different attitude to the private sector. The key is going to be in the implementation, but I think that's very positive. I'm a bit more skeptical about all the talk of the fourth industrial revolution and technology. I think it's a lot more important that the vast majority of young South Africans learn how to read and count. And we need to be very realistic about what is possible there, and that will temper how we think about the fourth industrial revolution, whatever everybody means by that.
Yes, good point. Anne Bernstein, thank you very much, head of the Centre for Development and Enterprise. And it's back to you, Shahan, amongst the number crunchers and the fact checkers.
Yeah, the number crunchers are